How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Bitcoin update. And we've now had a fundamental event that has looked like it's changed everything. I'm going to be cautious still as we're coming into very key levels. Let's dive into it. Trump actually announced a US crypto reserve, but he actually only mentioned Cardano, XRP, and Solana. This left people outraged because it's great that the government is pro crypto, but to not mention Bitcoin or ETH amongst XRP, ADA, and Solana is a bit of a joke. However, soon after the backlash, we can see obviously Bitcoin and ETH are also going to be in the reserve. But guys, this is bullish news that can bring prices back up above those key levels of resistance. Right now, I don't actually see any changes apart from this news event giving the market a wide pump. Now, where is it going to end is my next question. We need to remember it is the weekend and the stock market is shut. We don't want to see a CME gap back underneath price. That is, of course, going to continue to be the risk. Let's have a look at where the stock market actually did a shut. There we go. So Bitcoin actually closed down here at 84,000. So as price has climbed back up into this key previous area of support, and we've got multiple bearish crosses in that area, going back to that Bitcoin chart now, we can see there has been a gap that has been left since Saturday and Sunday has actually been a pump. So price actually is going to have a gap between 85, 84, 85, and wherever it decides to close for the daily candle shut. We see Bitcoin is at 91k, and this is great that there is a movement. Remember, once again, this fundamental news event can be strong enough to recover all these key levels, but I must maintain my stance, and I'll show you soon after. This is the ultimate level. So even if all the moving averages are reclaimed, it doesn't mean it's out of the woods. Right now, we're just pumping into previous support now as resistance. It's great fundamentally. It's acted as a catalyst. But is price going to push through this area? Or are we going to see a dump back down to fill in that CME gap that will be created due to the weekend pump? That's the only thing. Equally, if price can actually flip it back into support, you could see Bitcoin pumping into 101 and 105 and still roll over into new lows. If you don't believe me, let me show you some examples. If we head over to my personal page, we can see a few updates ago over here that in the past, when Bitcoin was down at 84k, now we compare it to the past, when you see a completed move down, and we are seeing a local bottom at least for a move up, we can see on multiple occasions when we're given this local bottom, the market gave a huge bounce from 60 to 72, climbing $12,000. And in the end, it failed to break above the ultimate resistance, the 886. Currently, we find that out 105k, 101 to 105. And we can see this very important area in the past. After another local bottom, we can measure this entire move down, and it said this is the ultimate resistance, 71.6. Same thing again with this new low, a new local bottom. We've at least started a movement back up, and my points of interest is going to always be the same thing. So to be honest, guys, we actually might not even see any changes, even if this key previous support is recovered. At the moment, it should be resistance, but even if it's recovered, the ultimate goal is breaking past 105k. At that point, there will be nothing bearish on the chart. Right now, we're slowly, one by one, invalidating those bearish signals while under the 200 EMS, very negative. So that could actually start a new downtrend. Even if we see this moving back up, it could just be into resistance, as we do have other moving averages in the way. However, by reclaiming all the moving averages here, it's putting in a much better position than it was down over here. One by one, it's invalidating those bearish signals. But until that final layer of defense, 105k, is broken, there is going to be that risk of a new lower low under 78k. As I've shown you in those examples, once the low was put in, it had a massive move to the 886 and still went to lower low. Same thing again, lower low. Same thing again, lower low. That is the risk. And we haven't even had the move up all the way to 105k, where it could still play out like that. But once again, I'm going to update it as it develops. I'm more than confident to identify when the structure has changed. But at the moment, I don't see any changes apart from a catalyst to move the market back up to a key level. Look, I can briefly go over Solana. Now, this is what I was saying in my last update. This has to be the support, otherwise validating an even larger macro double top, not just this small one over here. And so at the moment, it's just pumping into resistance. Literally what I said in my last update over the weekend. You can see it's now getting that moving back up due to a catalyst, fundamental news that out of our power, but many resistances up ahead. Also going to have that 886 with this completed move down and a local low, even if we do continue lower in the end anyways. a movement back up needs to be strong enough where it recovers the 886 266. Otherwise it could pump as high as there and roll over. What does that then mean? That means it can't lower high under here. So even if we just start finishing in this area, failing to recover the bearish crosses and rolling over, that is absolutely terrible, and that will be the risk until that moment, one by one, as these levels are reclaimed. Like, let's say we see all the moving averages and $200, let's just call it reclaim. That's a great first step in the right direction, because the moving averages are reclaimed, as you see to the left. Price continues higher. So yes, a move back above the moving averages should send Solana, all the cryptos, and Bitcoin higher, but could get up into that and still put in a lower low. This is going to be the risk. Again, I'm going to let you know as I see this develop. If it changes and we're starting to break through this area, then I'll say, look, the next target is over 100,000, but that is going to be a key level of resistance. That's it from me today. Thank you so much for tuning in, giving me your weekend, the time on the weekend. I'll see you over in the new week up ahead. Hopefully these levels can be recovered, but I'm not going to get caught out. I'm not going to let this trick and fool me. Right now, it's just moving back up into previous support as resistance, as it's the weekend and the stock market is shut. It's a dodgy move, even though fundamentally, the president is saying that a crypto reserve will come. This is a strong enough event to recover those levels, but those levels are not yet truly recovered. Let's see how next week develops, and I'll catch you in those updates. Cheers.